Happy Friday, everybody. Still Friday for me, anyway. So I'm gonna jump on the Zidane nerfing train here. That happened with the recent update to the game. So I thought this was a pretty funny meme. I thought I'd share with everybody because it's hilarious. It did make me laugh. So, did somebody say boom? Oh yeah, they nerfed him good. So he has been neutered quite a lot. And is he still useful though? Yes, I think so, but I do not agree with the nerf whatsoever. So I was going to do some rating here, look for some blue tanks, and just see how he is. I can't say as I've used him a heck of a lot the past couple days, because I've been stupid busy, but which happens. That's life. So I did use him in war, but I didn't realize, like, he's only helping himself and the two beside him now. So his area of effect is really down from what it was. And he doesn't heal the whole team anymore. So I'm thinking I'm taking a healer into a war hit with me, and I'm really not. I'm taking in one that only helps 3 out of the 5 if I have him in flank or tank position. So now he's like a counter attacker where you can't really put him on the wing position or you're wasting a part of his special. So let's see if I can find any blue tanks here. Now, I guess I should actually show the difference. Alright, so before he was still the same attack, health, and defenses. That never changed. It remained the same at 652, 661, and 1376, which is good. And the first part of his special actually remained the same as well, with the 213% damage to the target and nearby enemies. So that never took a hit either. Now this is what took a hit. The caster and nearby allies get 21% charge generation for 3 turns. What it was previously was all allies get 38% charge generation for 3 turns. So he went from being an area of effect for his entire team to an area of effect up to 3 instead of 5. Now, the third part of his special here changed as well. The caster and nearby allies regenerate 228 HP over 3 turns. Well, that was all allies regenerate 228 HP over 3 turns. So the heal over time and the charge generation really took a hit, going from all 5 down to 3 at the most. And that charge generation as well, that's crazy because it was 38%. The charge generation is now 21%, so that took a 17% hit. So that's why I say he's neutered. He kind of lost some of his spine as well. So I'm not a doctor, but I'd be suing the developers for malpractice, personally. If I went in there being as decent of a hero as I did and came out neutered and partially spineless, but that's just me. So I am kind of disgusted with this nerf and the response to it, not just the nerf itself. So for those of you that did send in a ticket to support about this, you likely ended up with this as your first response. So this is a copy and pasted scripted reply, and that is basically their initial response to everyone for this. So there were a lot in the gaming community that kept on complaining And they got more scripted responses. And one of the responses that they finally defaulted to was their legal response, which is basically that they own everything about our accounts. And that is in their terms of service. They do own the game, they own the rights to everything and can change anything as they please. However, that is unbelievably disrespectful to their gaming community that keeps them going. If it's one thing I found, it is that SG, generally speaking, is disrespectful to their gaming community, which is very unfortunate. We do have a good community here. We do have a relatively toxic-free global chat compared to other games. There's a lot of alliances helping out other alliances, and there's a lot of helpful players within the game, which is awesome to see. I enjoy the community because of that, because let's face it, we all have stresses to deal with in a day, and most of us come to this game to get away from some of those daily pressures in life. We've all got to deal with a pandemic right now, which flipped a lot of our worlds upside down. And we come here to blow off some steam and do some gaming and have some fun and play with some fun heroes until the devs decide to nerf them. That is. So, that being said, there are quite a number of us still contacting them. So if that's how you feel, and myself included, I'm going to keep on contacting them about this. Keep on contacting them, because I don't think it was a fair nerf at all. I really don't. And I don't expect them to roll it back to where he was by any means, but it does seem like a funny nerf, because he wasn't overpowered to begin with. But they will tell you that player feedback was that Zidane was overpowered. No, I don't believe that. And then if you ask them about it, they don't directly answer that question. And then they'll usually give you this scripted reply about the legal rights that they have to change anything and everything whenever they want. And that's not a fair reply either. That's a disrespectful reply when it comes down to it. It really is. But if we keep up the pressure on them, there is a possibility that they will roll back some of this nerf and buff him up a little bit again. Do I expect them to put him back to where he was? No, by no means. And that's fine. There are checks and balances that they do need to do, and there are a lot of nerfs and buffs that I have agreed with, especially playing the game for as long as I have. There's a lot of them that have come up over time and have been good nerfs and good buffs as well. But yeah, I argued the point with them about Hollow Pointless when they nerfed him, and I didn't win that battle. But hopefully enough in the community keep on communicating with them and keep the dialogue open and say, hey, this wasn't right what you did. You need to buff him up again. And there's a very good chance we may win that battle. So if anyone is interested in doing that, please keep the dialogue open. And also keep it clean. There's absolutely no reason for abusive speech, even if you don't agree with it. And quite frankly, that won't help the cause if you're going to be abusive in the messaging. So I know they won't put up with swearing of any kind. So just putting that out there, because I'm no one to drop lots of F-bombs myself. But yeah, I wouldn't do that to the developers in this case, that's for sure, because it won't help the cause any. Alright, so let's see if I can find some blue tanks. Now I already took him out of my defense and put Jagasta in. There's a good chance they nerfed him so badly too, because they're likely going to introduce a 5-star red hero to compete with that. That's why I say it's kind of funny timing to all of a sudden literally cut the balls out of him and make him just spineless compared to what he was. And a spring event coming up. So I wouldn't be surprised personally if there's a 5-star hero in there, a red hero, to compete with Zidane. And they're hoping people will chase them, right? That hero. Or it's going to be a hero of the month coming up. That'll be a red one to really compete with what Zidane was. And they're really hoping that they're banking on people chasing. So we'll see what happens. Alright, I want a green tank, not a blue. I'm not sure why I was saying that. Can't get my colors right sometimes. There's not too many green tanks. Because I was going to take double Zidane in and see how he did. I could take him against a red tank though here. To see if he's still useful. So I don't want to take one anymore. Because his area of effect has been reduced from 5 to 3. So that's going to make me rethink my war teams. For sure, because I don't have enough healers to cover the whole team now. Mind you, I set up my war teams every time. So I do pick a different team for anybody that's watched some of my war hit videos. I base it on who the tank and the flanks are anyway, but this will make me rethink some of my setups because now I don't have enough healers at all to cover. I have 2 throttles. I have a Jocasta, a Coyote, 2 Zidanes, and a Jocasta that's currently at 480, so that doesn't really cover all my war hits because, yeah, he's been reduced to that number of 3 instead of 5 because I was using him on war machines too because he did a bit of healing over time to the whole team, and now that's gone too. So I've actually changed up some of my war machine teams just based on this recent nerf as well. Okay, let's see how he does. Now, the only reason they will also tell you that use is too high on a hero. Well, this hero gets used all the time, so he obviously needs to be nerfed to force people to use different heroes. Well, in my case, I don't have any other ones but a Jocasta anyway. Are you kidding me? I would love to use a Thrasher or a Blair. For anyone that remembers and was here for October, Blair was in the seasonal event for October, the Halloween event, and hell, I would have loved to grab myself a Rudolph for Christmas, but that never happened in my Christmas summons. So I'm very limited in what I can do anyway, and I happen to pull a Zidane from TS20, and I happen to pull a Zidane from a summons, so of course I'm going to be using them all the time. I've got to. So even their reasoning on that is flawed. Because that's RNG for you. I got a double Zidane, but there's how many other great 5-star reds out there that I could be using and I would love to use. I would love to get a copy of Haruto, too, for that matter. And I can't use them, so I don't have them. So I'm using what I've been dealt by RNG. So that, that response doesn't sit well with me either. Because like, damn, I can't help it that I managed to snag 2 Zidanes. Like, that's the totally RNGesus for you. Just randomly dropping stuff. And yet, I have trouble getting another yellow 5-star. And again, that's RNG for you, so I would love to get another yellow one besides Hush and Stinger, who are both great. I like using both of those ladies. I think they're decent heroes, but again, RNGesus, right? I can't help that. I can't seem to land another 5-star yellow, so I'm not sure why they use that line of reasoning when it's faulty. But that's what they do. Alright, so is he gonna help these guys here? I think so. Alright, so we should be able to get her before she hits. I am so happy that they didn't do anything with the amount of damage that he does, because that was definitely not high. There's even been feedback in the player community from people that don't have Zidane saying he wasn't that overpowered to begin with, so they don't understand it, because they're not using him as a hero because they don't have him like I'm using him as a hero, but they come face to face with him in raids and on more defenses, right? And even a number of them have said he was not overpowered, so that's pretty sad. That they'd do a nerf like that, and even people that don't have the hero are saying, what? He wasn't overpowered, what are you talking about? I have no problem with him in a raid or a war. So, I don't know, this was pretty uncalled for, to say the least. So I still think he's useful. Like, that's a decent way to raid too, right? It's not the same though. Yeah, it's definitely different. Alright, let's try a blue healing tank. I'm crazy for going against crazy here. Oh, this is gonna be tough if I can't get rid of her. Look at her dodging. She's dancing and dancing. Ho ho, got her. Got her before Zidane helped her out. So I can honestly say I don't mind this setup. I really don't mind this setup for a raid. In an attack sense, I will never put him on defense again though. That's just too much of a nerf for my liking. So I think Jacosta's gonna stay in on my defense. If I use a setup like this where I use double Zidane in war though, then I've used up 2 healing heroes right away. So hopefully I can get some other healers. Copy of Anastasia would be awesome. Alright, so this way I don't think this is too bad. I definitely am noticing my heroes do not charge up as fast though. Alright, another blue tank. Oh, 4001 power. I get 2 blues in here, don't I? Ah, what the hell. Let's try it. I am glad I did not put any emblems on Zidane. I honestly don't know when I'll use the emblems. But this is part of the problem. They're still adjusting. And really cutting deep on some of these nerfs sometimes because they're still adjusting before a global release, which they say is supposed to be coming in the spring, so we'll see if that happens. And I don't want to go too deep with emblems only to find out a hero's gonna get gutted like Zidane has. And I've just spent all those resources putting emblems on a hero that's gonna now be weaker. The emblems are supposed to help you power up the hero, so that just chews. If somebody put a lot of emblems into him and spent those resources, the food and the metal, to do it, on top of the emblems, oh, that just absolutely chews. Boom. Alright, I think I'm gonna hit this one again, but I'm gonna try a little bit different team. Yeah, whatever. Bye. Okay. I'm gonna do a 2-2 in one team here. Health weapon. I really need to land a 5-star green too. The exact second I land a 5-star green weapon, I am gonna do a power leveling video. I have got all of the weapons parts for it to take it from 0 right to done. Nah, he's a pretty solid hero. I call him Jason. What the hell is his name? Because he looks like Jason from Friday the 13th. Face Off. Yeah, he's a decent hero. He was a Halloween hero too, along with Blair. Actually, I want to get rid of her next now. Lillian is not much of a threat. There's a couple of the 5-star heroes, the regular ones from the regular summon gate, that could use a couple of buffs actually, and Lillian's one of them. She is, I mean, it's good that she's fast charging. She definitely could, I don't know, use a bit more damage when she goes off. I don't know. I don't find her a threat at all. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. Okay. Did I fill up my hero box? I did. Alright guys, I'm going to open this, and yes, if any of you want to join us in keeping up a bit of the pressure on SG about this, feel free to keep the dialogue open and keep messaging them about this nerf. I will give them credit, they do answer everything, but like I said, we're getting the scripted replies to start with, which isn't cool. And that's not good. But eventually you will get an actual person to talk to, so if you keep the dialogue going, a customer service representative will eventually be on there to chat with you, and it won't be the dialogue, the scripted replies, like I say. So you will get a human being. And yeah, so please join us if you feel as strongly as some of us do about it. Then keep the dialogue going to support, and we'll see if we can at least get him buffed a bit in the future. Alright guys, well, take care. So that's it for the Zidane neutering video.